Ladies and gentlemen, there have been some fantastic games in the round 10 of the AFL, and honestly, some of them were unexpected, some of them were incredibly surprising. However, through the competition, man, we're starting to see, once again, I'll say it all over again, man, we are starting to see the teams that are truly trying to fight for their places within the top 8 and now even the top 4. Some incredible surprises coming in these games. Also very tight games. At the end of the day, the AFL is probably closer than it's ever been. It's been extremely close and there's not much time left. So let's get into the AFL round 10 reactions and results. Let's do it. Up everybody, it's the Aidan Sports Show. Welcome back to another video. This is going to be an AFL round 10 match reactions and results, where we go through all of the games that have happened in the round 10 of the AFL, give my reaction to the game, as well as focus on the predictions that I did in my previous AFL video. If you want to check that out before this one, it will make a lot more sense to this video. We go through all the predictions and see how many I've gotten right and wrong and give the total at the end of the video. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel. Turn notifications on and let me know in the comments below. Did your team win? Is your team in the top 8? Or is your team fighting for a chance in the top 8? Or if you're any of the bottom teams, how are you feeling about your season so far? Do you think you can be one of those teams in the very near future? But without further ado, let's get into the very first game of this round. And it was the Port Adelaide Power versus the Western Bulldogs. Now, I predicted the Port Adelaide Power to go and grab this win, and they grabbed it very well. The score was 55-42. Now, the thing about the Bulldogs is, they were well in this game and they were really close to winning, in my opinion. Now, what really set the mark straight, and the reason why Port Adelaide Power did win by a decent scoreline, is the fact that Western Bulldogs offense inside their 50, they could not be clinical enough to go and attack Port Adelaide Power. Now, I say this in all I say it in all these videos. The more clinical team will win. It's not necessarily which team is better, but if you're more clinical in front of goal, you will win the game. That doesn't necessarily mean your team is better than another, but on the given day, Port Adelaide Power were more clinical with 8 goals and 7 behinds, and Western Bulldogs had 12 behinds. Look, they could have ran away with this game if they just pushed some of those points into goals. They could have easily won this game. But again, that's a win for me, by the way, because I did predict Port to win. So I'm happy with that result, to be fair. But the Western Bulldogs, it's a struggle for them. It seems like every week there's something different about their team that's wrong. I thought defensively they did fairly well, man. Port Adelaide Power only getting 55 is a very good feat for the Western Bulldogs, but then they just go and ruin it offensively. So I don't know what's wrong with the Western Bulldogs. I do see them being a very good team. I still think they are a very good team, but I don't know, it just seems like every single game that they lose, it's a different problem with their team. Whether it's the defense just not performing, or now it's their offense that's not performing and their defense is. I just don't know what seems to be the issue. I know Western Bulldog players are injured. They seem to be injured every year. I feel like every single year there's injuries to Western Bulldogs players. But we'll move on from that. In the end, they probably did deserve to lose because they just weren't clinical. So yeah, look, we'll just have to move on from that one. Next one, and this is a big one. This is probably the surprise of the round. Richmond versus Brisbane. Now, I predicted Brisbane to win, and funnily enough, I did not even know that Brisbane have not been in Richmond in 15 years. I did not have a clue that that was a thing. But I still backed the Lions here because they are the better team. And even now, I believe they're the better team. But Richmond absolutely ran away with this game, so that's the first loss on the board for me. 82-41 was the score. Incredible performance from Richmond. 12 goals to 10 behinds. Brisbane had 17 behinds in this game. And again, if you're gonna score 17 behinds, you should not win the game. It's as simple as that. 4 goals to 17 behinds. Where is the clinicalness from Brisbane's team? that I feel like this is an off game. It has to be an off game. But nevertheless, man, the one thing we talk about when it comes to Richmond is that they don't seem to be performing in front of goal. And they're doing that now. They're performing in front of goal. In the last 3 weeks, they've had great score lines against other teams, and that's why they flattened all the competition pretty much. And Brisbane has been a part of that. This was basically a repeat of what it was like in the finals. It was just destruction on every level. Look, I'm not going to take this as Brisbane are not as good as people think they are. I'm not going to take this as Brisbane are not a top tier team. At the end of the day, they definitely deserve to lose the game. But not only that, they just need they need to find the stability sometimes. You know, like I just feel like you can't get away with 17 behinds. That has to do with composure. Maybe the moment got to them. I don't know what the reason was, but they need to do a lot better than 41 points, and they need to do a lot better than 17 behind. You can't excuse that. I'm sorry, you just can't. You can't give them an excuse for that. It's just poor. It's not good enough. And it's very few times I've been saying that about a Brisbane team, but I have to treat them fairly compared to everybody else. When they do badly, I have to call them out on it. They did badly today. So we'll move on from that one. Brisbane need to do a lot better next week, and I think they'll get back to winning ways. Don't you guys worry. Geelong versus the North Melbourne Kangaroos. Now, this game I predicted Geelong to win, and Geelong won pretty convincingly, 57 to 90 in Geelong's favour. Look, I thought North Melbourne did very well when they went going forward. You could tell by their scoreline. They only had 3 behinds and 9 goals. The problem was that Geelong dominated them, I think, in every way. I don't think this game was ever close. I mean, I didn't watch the full game, but I did catch some of it. And I just thought Geelong were far the superior team. And that's exactly what you expect from Geelong. They've had a great few victories, haven't they? And I think they fully deserve this one as well. There's not really much else to say. I think everybody that did a predictions video predicted Geelong to beat North. It's not like it is. It's not like it's new common knowledge that North Melbourne would have won this game. I do think that there was still a chance for them to win this game, just like there's a chance for them to win next week as well. But at the end of the day, you don't expect them to win, even though they do have the chances. They've beaten good teams, North Melbourne, but deep down, they're not a good team themselves, and I think that's why they lose by the amount that they lose by. We'll move on from that one fairly quickly as well. Now, this game is interesting. This game is extremely interesting. So, Adelaide Crows versus the Melbourne Demons. Now, this game it's a bit difficult, you know. So the scoreline was 37 to 88 in Melbourne's favour, but the scoreline did not do justice for the game at all. So, look, Melbourne ran away with this game in the third and fourth quarter. I think the third quarter we kept them goalless. In the fourth quarter, we just scored all of our goals in the fourth quarter pretty much. I think we had 6 goals in the third quarter, ended up finishing with 13 goals and 10 behinds. Adelaide were the better team in the first half, but again, they don't have the quality to go and compete with teams. To even say that they were in this game, a lot of people, if they didn't watch the game, would find it baffling that they were even in it, but they were. They truly were. In the fourth quarter, they just gave up. I don't know if it was tired legs or they knew that they weren't going to win. They basically just gave us all of our goals in the fourth quarter. But this is an important win for Melbourne. I don't care how easy it may have been in the second half. Whatever the case may be, a win is a win, and we need to take every win possible to save the season. After a poor game against Port Adelaide, this is the perfect response. Even though, if you watch the game, you could tell that it still wasn't quite there, but it was better than Port Adelaide, I would assume. If we put that performance up against Port Adelaide, we might have done a little bit better. But regardless of that, Adelaide are not a good team. And I'm not going to take this as, oh my goodness, Melbourne's season is saved, we're the best team in the AFL. But it's an important victory, and we need to take it as that. We need to take it as such. I think a lot of Melbourne fans are very happy with this. Clayton Oliver was a gun. Max Gawn did very well. Viney did well. Jackson and Wiedemann in the forward line seems to be gelling a little bit better than McDonald. So in the end, that's kind of what we're going to be seeing down the line. Hopefully, maybe against North we'll see the exact same game, and if we have the same performance, then we could say that we've got something there. Next up, this one is interesting as well. Oh, by the way, I did predict Melbourne to win, so of course I did. You guys know that. Look at the hat. Come on. Next up, Collingwood versus the Sydney Swans. Now, this game is very interesting. I predicted Collingwood to win this game, and Collingwood won. But honestly, they did not deserve to win this game. Seriously, they did not deserve to win this game. They had 6 goals and 14 behind. That's unacceptable, man. You cannot... Like, Sydney had 6 goals and 5 behinds, and that's why you could clearly see that Collingwood won this game. But Collingwood were, what, 1 goal... I believe they were 1 goal 10 at one stage on this game. Sydney... It's like Sydney's probably going to get losers of the week just for that. Like, that is so bad to allow a team like Collingwood to come back. I know Collingwood are a good side, but when you have them down on the rope scoring 1 goal and 10 behind, you finish that game off. I don't care what team you are, you need to finish that game off. So, look, I can't give an excuse for Sydney. Collingwood, I'm sure Collingwood fans are ecstatic by that, but I think deep down they know they probably didn't deserve to win this game, but they won the game. I don't think it's going to matter if they deserve to win it or not. The fact is they did. That counts as a win for me, but seriously, that's unacceptable from Sydney. Like, that is so bad. I don't care if your team has not won a game in 3 years. When you have a team going 1-10 against you, you need to finish that game off. You need to finish it completely. And they didn't do it. They didn't do it, so it's just terrible. It genuinely is terrible. I think... I don't know, man. I don't know what's going to happen with Collingwood next week and the week after that and the week after that. Look, Collingwood is an up and down team at the moment. Sydney, we all know what's going to happen to Sydney at this time, but Collingwood are up and down. They have fantastic games, then they have dreadful games. There's so much drama around their team. I just don't know where to put Collingwood in a ranking at the moment, but a win is a win. And I think that... I don't know what else to say. A win is a win. I don't think Collingwood deserved to win this game, but the fact that they won it means that sometimes teams win games that you don't deserve to win. That's what makes a good side at the end of the day. When your team is playing worse than the other team, but you still manage to win, it shows you're a good side. And I do think Collingwood are a good side, but I do think that the level of opponent was dreadful, and that's why they won. Anyway, we'll move on from that one. Going on to, in my opinion, the best game of this round, St Kilda and Gold Coast. Look, I'm very happy to get this win, to be honest, because I predicted the Saints to win and they won, but Gold Coast really brought it to them. And this was one of the most exciting games of the competition. 12 goals 6 to St Kilda, 11 goals 8. Very exciting stuff. 2 very young teams, very hyped teams. We're going full blown at it, not leaving anything to chance. They both really wanted this game, and 4 points, man. Like, it was in their grasp, Gold Coast, and they could have won it. They could have captured that victory to put them back on track, but it just did not happen. So in the end, St Kilda lived to fight another day with yet another victory. St Kilda are making very good noise, very good shouts into this in the last few weeks, maybe even close to a month and a half now. They've been doing extremely well, so they fully deserve that, to be honest. They deserve that victory. They deserve the chance to go and next week and win again. Teams like this, Gold Coast and St Kilda, they're kind of on the same par, aren't they? Obviously, St Kilda have the better team, but performances-wise, I think they've both done extremely well this season, and the quality of these two sides showed, and the entertainment factor in this game was probably at one of its highest of the entire round. I think even the commentators loved this game. It wasn't the most skillful type game. I mean, of course, the clinicalness was there, but in the end, it was a great game. I'm very excited that I got to watch this game, and we're gonna have to go to the next week. Very optimistic about these two teams. Last but not least, the Essendon Bombers versus the GWS Giants. Now, at the time of recording, this game has just finished, and this was a great game. Now, it's a game of 2 halves, this one. You had Essendon on one half, absolutely dominating the first half. I believe the scoreline was, I think, either 36 or 42 to 11 at one point. And the GWS Giants just absolutely came back in the second half, dominated the play, finally got the things going in the scoreline on the scoreboard, and GWS Giants take the win. And I'm very happy for that one, because that also seals another victory for me, as I predicted the Giants to win. That is fantastic, man. It was honestly a really good game. I'm very stunned that the Giants came back. I think even in the third quarter, they were down by a lot. So fair play to them. They absolutely did a madness here. And Essendon, again, proving Essendon are a good team. They do prove it here and there. And I think they did prove it here against a quality side, but the second half, it shows their season, really. ups in the first half, downs in the second half. That's basically how their season has gone throughout the entire time anyway. So, nevertheless, let's see the total tally. So, I believe, look, I've recorded the first part and the second part in a very long period of time. So, I believe this is the 7th victory. So I believe I'm 7-1 or 6-1. I've only got on one loss, I'm sure of that. But of course, you'll see it at the bottom of the screen, and by the time I'm editing it, I'll know. So the total scoreline of how many wins and losses I've got throughout the whole season will be updated now. And there you go, guys. Now, let's go to the winners and the losers of the week. So, this week has been very, very simple for me. Now, despite the Giants and the Essendon game just finishing, I'm not going to give any of them winners or losers of the week. It's very obvious for me who the winners are, and it has to be Richmond. When you go and verse the first team, or the second team, but they're one of the best teams in the AFL, and your team's been held under a lot of scrutiny for the entire season based on how your forward line production has been, and how poorly you got at Richmond has been throughout the majority of the season. Now they're in the top 4, I believe. And not only that, they have been scoring well and truly more goals than nearly everybody in the competition since that scrutiny has happened. So Richmond, in all fairness, man, we could talk about how Richmond have played at the start of the season, but Richmond is a team that always seems to come together towards the end, and this is the same thing here. They're coming together towards the end of the season. They're becoming the team that is dangerous, that is absolutely a threat to the premiership, and that's why they've won it last year. They're still a very good team that could probably win it this year as well. So Richmond, in my opinion, are winners of the week by absolutely dismantling the Brisbane Lions. Now, the losers of the week for me is also very simple. It's Sydney. I can't believe Sydney did not finish that game off. I could have given it to Essendon for basically the same thing, but I just feel like Essendon are known to be very inconsistent. Plus, they were versing a better side. I think GWS are better than Collingwood, and Collingwood have injuries. There's so many things going around Collingwood, and they went up and won that game like that. That's unacceptable. That truly is unacceptable. In my opinion, Sydney are far and away, it's not even a competition for me, the losers of the week. So there you go, guys. That is going to be the end of this video. Look, I'm getting better at these. I don't know if it's because the games are becoming a little bit easier to predict, or maybe I'm just getting lucky, or maybe next week I'll just prove myself wrong. I don't really know what the case is, but I'm very, very happy about this performance from myself, to be fair, and I'm looking forward to round 11 with high hopes in that one as well. Again, this has been a very, very good reactions video, very, very good predictions from my end, and I don't want to be arrogant, but you know, that's how I just felt like this has been a very good week for me. So, with that being said, guys, thank you for watching. I will see you guys in the round 11 predictions tomorrow at 12, so stay tuned for that one. I could put it out now, but I just feel like we need to space these videos. Last time I put 2 videos out at the same time, and I just feel like it's too much too soon. So expect the video to come out tomorrow, and this one will come out pretty much at around 11 or so. Take care and peace.